Thank you for watching the Solid Sports video blog. I'm Troy West, joining you once again right here on the Solid Sports Gaming channel. This is episode 131. Today's date is August 8th, 2020. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everybody for the support I've been getting the last few days. I did the NFC West preview on Thursday. Told you I'd be back Saturday sometimes earlier than I said. I said I was probably going to do it at night. But I got work and stuff to do, so I don't want to have to squeeze it in so tight. I got a little bit of time now, so I figured I'd do it now. It's about 1 o'clock Eastern time. So a lot of games about to start in the MLB and NBA. We're talking about both of those sports. And some NFL news this week as well. I just want to say thank you once again. It's been a rough week, to be honest with you. Just a lot going on in my mind, in my life. So that's why I was saying Thursday was kind of rough to do the blog. But this is some type of relief for me, so I try to do it just to make myself feel better as well. Hopefully, we'll have some fun dialogue about sports. Take my mind off of a few things. But we're going to start with Major League Baseball. We always start with baseball first. The Miami Marlins, I keep saying Florida Marlins, they've been the Miami Marlins for long enough now. The problems they had with the coronavirus, pretty much the whole team caught it. But they sitting at 7-1 right now. They started playing the Orioles earlier this week. They swept a 4-game series with them. And they won again last night over the New York Mets in New York. So Miami Marlins are rolling 7-1. They're in first place in the National League East right now, a game over my Atlanta Braves. Even though the Braves have played a lot more games. And that's where they're supposed to actually, where the spread's supposed to start it, when they was in Atlanta, I think for what they call it, spring or summer camp or whatever it was, basically preseason. But they 7-1. I can't name not one person on the team. And all their players probably not, all their main players probably not even back yet, but they winning games, and it's 60 games, so you get a nice little start. And now they're going by winning percentage. That's how they lead the division. Who knows? They could be a playoff team, So as of right now, they rolling. They got the Mets again today. It's sort of a feel-good story. I know for them players. That organization, Derek Jeter, came out, had a statement talking about, I had some more sympathy for him. A lot of people sort of like down on him and everything. But some stuff came out that they wasn't doing all the protocols, coronavirus. Wasn't following the protocols, was going out, I think someone went to some clubs or something like that. So, but still, nobody deserves to get corona. I'm so grateful, that I've been lucky to not to, contract, even though I don't really go nowhere. I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and I'll say it's been pretty much taking it seriously for the most part. But still, I've catch public transportation. I go in stores still, so it's real out here, and people are still dying from it. So definitely take it serious and definitely be safe where you are in the country. Just wear your mask. That's the one thing I see people don't do. They don't wear, that's a simple thing, putting on a mask. So a lot of people don't do that though, that I see when I'm out. So at least do that, and wash your hands, it's little stuff like that, but I'm happy for the Marlins though. Will they come back down to earth? I don't know, but right now they number one in the National League East, so you can't deny them that right now. Mike Trout, congratulations to him. First of all, he had a child this week, best player in baseball, hands down. Honestly, I'm surprised. That's why I like to make predictions sometimes, because I was like, he gonna get home, see his family, see this. I think he had a boy this week with his wife. I was like, he gonna go through that, and he ain't gonna want to come back and play. But he was back in the next day, I believe. So he's still playing. So let's see the Angels. I did pick to win this division, but I admit Houston still looking like they rolling. But And then Atani, he's just going to hit for the year. He's not going to pitch for this year. Joe Madden shut him down on that, but he's still going to play. I think he's going to play the field at DH still, but he's not going to pitch for the Angels. So still a little bit different, but I was surprised Mike Trout came back. I didn't think he was going to come back. I really didn't. I don't know if I would have came back, knowing I just had a kid. I'm grateful. I'm glad as a fan. I'm glad he came back, but I was shocked. We'll see. You know, Angels hovering around. Let's see. Got this standings pulled up right here. Oh, they 5-9, so not doing too well. Oakland leads after the though. Houston only 6-7 though. So we'll see. Oakland A's quietly again, having a good year. But I mean, it's really about what, quarter through the season. There's just 60 games. So whoever's slacking, you gotta get a move on. Let's see. The Central is real competitive in the American League. White Sox, Detroit hovering around Cleveland. They just 7. Kansas City 5-10. Like I said, in the East, Yankees pretty much got a 3-game lead. That's the monster lead for this time of year. Minnesota's leading the Central. That's the Oakland in the West. And the National League is the Miami Marlins at 7-1. Cubs 10-3. Everybody else in the division is under 500. St. Louis, we're about to talk about them in a second. Only played 5 games as they had an outbreak. Colorado and the Dodgers pretty much tied up in the West. So some teams, you know, still surprising, but it's still sort of early, but it's not as early as, like I said, if this was a regular season. You know, you wouldn't even think about the standings right now. But with just 60 games. And like I said, now it's about winning percentage. Hopefully the Cardinals can get back into it. They, I think, as far as I know, I think they had a few more positive tests because they was going to play this weekend. But the games wound up getting canceled. I think they're supposed to play the Cubs. So the whole series, first they just canceled yesterday's game, and then they decided to cancel the rest of the series. So that's basically 2 teams. The Marlins just getting over it. Now the Cardinals are going through it. So I think if it happens to another team, baseball will have to really reevaluate. You know, Commissioner Manfred been sort of flip-flopping. First he said, you know, he basically put a warning out to the players, and the players was pissed off. And like I said, baseball union is strong. Seriously felt that they was pissed off. He flipped out and said, well, he flipped back and said, well, we ain't gonna give up on the season. But he was basically ready to shut down the season because of the Marlins, but he didn't. And now he said that basically they just want to push through it all. So, but if another team wind up getting an outbreak, I think they're gonna have to reconsider and think some things over. Pardon me. You don't want to know what's in that cup, by the way. Man, like, I mean, I want to vent so bad, but I'm just gonna stay. I'm gonna keep positive and just get through the blog for you guys. But that's our baseball update for the week. Let's move on to the NBA. Right now, it just turned 1 o'clock. Huge. Well, it was a huge game, but Clippers and Blazers. We're gonna talk about the Blazers in a second. The Phoenix Suns too. I'm gonna throw them in there. They have been really impressive to me. Toronto Raptors, they've been the 3 most impressive teams to me. But we're going to talk about the Blazers, though. But they might get a win today because they playing the Clippers right now. Probably tipped off already on TNT. TNT got a triple header, so I'm definitely going to turn that on once I finish. The Blazers, man, like they've been blazing hot. I also think they just lost 1 game in this bubble. But Damian Lillard had the 45 the other night. CJ McCollum's playing well. Nurkic being back is huge. Like they look like a different team with him back. Gary Trent Jr. Hitting some big shots. Carmelo Anthony, like people are buried. He's buried shots, big shots already. I like the Blazers, man. Now a lot of steam is getting pushed up about them challenging the Lakers. I think they're gonna win against the Clippers today because they sit Kawhi Leonard. They announced that this morning. Due to these orders, they got a back-to-back, so he's going to play tomorrow and not today against the Blazers. So I think they could win this game today. Pat Beverly not playing. He's hurt. And Martell Harrell's still not back yet. He lost his grandmother, so condolences to him. Wouldn't be shocked. Like I said, I always make these emotional predictions, but he might sit out. He might not come at all. I don't know. Because when he comes, he's going to have to quarantine for, I think it's 4 days or something like that, 5 days before he even joined the team. So maybe he'll be back for the playoffs, which is in another week or so. But I understand if he'll opt out due to loss of his grandmother. I see Doc Rivers talking about it. I think it was about a week ago, and he was saying how close he was with his grandmother. And he just said, whatever you're ready, just come on back. But that's all you can say. But if they get all those guys, but the Clippers is going to be a force. But the Blazers, man, I'm so impressed with the Blazers. I'm looking smart right now. Let's look at that. I had the schedule. I had the standings pulled up with the Blazers, because I think they're going to catch Memphis, period. I know they're going to be in that 8th seed. Well, the 9th, at least 9th. Well, since I got the whole thing looked at, let me looking at the East right now. Now, the 8 teams are set. Washington already been eliminated, which is not a surprise to nobody. The Wizards, Vanderbilt didn't come. So I figured they'd be, after like 3 or 4 games, they'd be done. So they're done. They're eliminated. So the 8 teams in the East is set. Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers, Philadelphia 76ers, who I just watched last night. Big win for them last night. Over Orlando, who just lost. And Brooklyn in the 7th spot. Now, them 2 teams can flip. Philly is at least in the 6th spot, but they can move up to 4, possibly. That's the same with Indiana. Miami's in the 4th spot now. I think, it's a 3 games. It's 3.5 between Toronto and Boston. Even though Boston beat Toronto last night, that was impressive. Toronto, like I said, has been played very well. But I think they're going to hold on to that 2nd spot. I think Boston will be that 3. I think 4, 5, and 6 can flip. And of course, Brooklyn and Orlando can flip. In the West, Lakers clinched the 1st seed. Clippers and Denver fighting for that 2nd seed. I think the Clippers are already content. They don't care about being the 2nd seed. They just, want to get ready for the playoffs, because they can't fall. They probably don't fall no more than 4. Houston's right there. Houston's been really impressive as well. Like I said, but their biggest weakness is rebounding, obviously. Utah, to me, like I said, I didn't dismiss them, but I think they sort of gonna go through the motions. OKC with Chris Paul, they'd be interested to see. Dallas clinch the 7th seed, but they can move up as well. Memphis right now is in the 8th. Portland just 1 game back. I think they're gonna catch Memphis, period. The Spurs has been impressive. Another team. New Orleans right there. Phoenix is, like I said, it's been real good since they've been here. Kings been up and down. They won a game, but I think the Kings pretty much could write them off. I don't like how New Orleans look either. Zion is on a minutes restriction, so they're not going all out to me, which you can't blame them. But I don't know, they might still be in the mix, but the Spurs and the Blazers has been, and the Phoenix Suns have been very impressive, and then stand with Memphis, and maybe maybe it don't seem fair to the Grizzlies, like I talked about that last week, but I think the Blazers going to catch them. But I just love that team. Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard, and CJ McCollum, probably the best backcourt in the NBA. But them challenging the Lakers, which the steam has been pulling up for that, they're going to get the Lakers problems at the guards, because like I said, who's like Lillard and McCollum will be able to do what they want to do. Now they got guys that can guard, like J.R. Smith, J.R. Waiters could be a pass to try to guard, but they too slow. I think Dame Dollar and McCollum will have their way if they do meet. But I think they're going to, like I said, I think the Lakers have an advantage that nobody's really talked about, is the big man. Like, you can't dismiss the big man. Yeah, it's not as important as it was in the 90s and the time I used to watch basketball as a kid, but you still need a big man to rebound. That's why I think Houston, yeah, they got the backcourt with Harden and Russell Westbrook. Even though I consider Harden as a forward sometimes, but I guess you could take them two over McCollum and Dame, I guess. But Yeah, they do well there, but inside, like I said, Houston, they won games. Like, somebody gonna say lucky, but because they won the games and they hit shots, but they rebounded is terrible. I watched like 2 or 3 Houston games, and they like the Dallas when they played Dallas. Dallas should have won that game. Like, they out rebounded them, and kept getting second chance shots. Houston, but Houston hits their shots. When they hit their shots, they on. That's just like it always been. But I mean, you got Russ this time, so that's the difference. It'll take some pressure off James Harden. I think they need to get Eric Gordon back. Now I start to talk about the Rockets, but I'm really impressed with the Blazers, though. I think they could make some noise, but I just think the Lakers will still be too much for them. I think they probably maybe push them to 6 games. That's how I feel about it right now. But I think the Lakers are missing. We about to talk about that, so we're gonna just go ahead and transition right to the Lakers. We'll talk about the Lakers anyway, because some people worried about this, worried about that. I'm not worried yet. They clinched the 1 seed, even though like I said the 1 seed is not that big of a deal this year because of the bubble. But I think they just gonna take it easy. LeBron is gonna probably play a little less. Now Anthony Davis, I think Anthony Davis needs to play. I think he needs to stay sharp, which they did. LeBron set a game, I think. Was it Thursday night when they played? And AD just played, so I think he needs to keep playing. I don't think he needs the rest, even though he's a little injury prone, in his career. But I'm not that worried. Like, a lot of people worried about the Lakers over video, really thinking the Blazers could beat them. Even Charles Barkley said the Blazers are going to beat them. He already went on the record about that 2 weeks ago, but I'm not going to go that far. But I think the Blazers will give them some problems because of the guards. And the Clippers, if they get back to full strength, they're going to be a problem. Like I said, Denver, like I said, I just not, I like Jokic, I like the Joker, the big man. I like Bol Bol has been real fun to watch too. That team is fun to watch, but I don't know if they got it to make a deep playoff run. Like I said, Houston to be in the mix as well, but Utah and OKC, they nice teams, but you just think OKC just don't have enough. I think Chris Paul will have to carry them on their back. And with Utah, like I said, I love Donovan Mitchell. He's one of my favorite players. It's not even about the beef him and Rudy Gobert. They just don't look to me like they focused. I just think they just there. You know what I'm saying? That's just like me from afar. I could be way wrong, and I hope they prove me wrong because it'd be a hell of a great playoffs. But those 2 teams, they there. They nice teams, but you don't see them beating the Lakers. You don't see them beating the Clippers. They could probably challenge Denver, but that's all for that. But I'm not worried about the Lakers. I think they'd be fine. I think they're just going to coast the rest of the way and get ready for the playoffs. Now that they know they got where they stand, they're going to get that 8th spot, which is going to be Memphis, Portland, San Antonio, Phoenix, or New Orleans still alive. Even Sacramento still alive. I just hope Sacramento don't make it. But any of those 2 teams, I think the Blazers do have the better shot. I think the Spurs with Popovich, it's just his experience. I think that would help the Spurs maybe stay in the series. No LaMarcus Aldridge, though, and I think that hurts them in a 7-game series. Phoenix, I think they're just too young, and I also think the same about the New Orleans Pelicans if they get in. And then Zion, like I said, not playing. And then I don't know if they do make the playoffs, will the restrictions lift or will, average entry let them play. But which I understand. They thinking about the future. They don't want him to go out there and get seriously hurt and then be done for the next season or for seasons to come. So they trying to take it easy with him, which I understand. Speaking of injuries, Ben Simmons, partly dislocated knee, devastating injury for him. He's out indefinitely. He can make it back. They ain't say he was out for the season yet, but it doesn't look good. Even though Philadelphia impressed me last night with that win over, even though it was the Orlando Magic, but still, the Magic was pretty much leading the whole game, and then Sixers pretty turned it on, spread the ball around. Embiid and Tobias Harris. I think it was, everybody got a chance to score. Wasn't, Embiid, they just had to just go crazy, so I liked that about Philly. But I think they're going to need Ben Simmons to really get somewhere. I really do. I think they're going to need him for the playoffs. So hopefully he could get back. But, a lot of rubbers out of Philadelphia. Brett Brown, pretty much on the hot seat. Could be his last hurrah here in Philadelphia. He might move to another direction. They still be saying Simmons and Embiid don't see eye to eye sometimes and all this other stuff off the court. But I don't know. I just think this team, like I said, I think they just need. That's why I think them losing JJ Redick was huge. I think they need a consistent shooter. They got shooters, and they got shooters on the team, but not no real consistent shooter to help out Simmons and Embiid when they drive to the basket. I think Embiid also. They was making a point last night. He need to go inside more in the post. He was trying to shoot too many jump shots. He was pretty much untouchable in the post, but he was like 0 for 9 from 10 feet out or something like that. Like some crazy stat like that they said last night. So, Philly is an interesting team, but like I said, if they don't get Ben Simmons back, they probably don't need to get out the first round. So hopefully he could get back, but that's a huge injury for the Sixers. Let's move on to the NFL. Some news this week. The opt-out deadline was Thursday, so whoever didn't opt out, they're in. So no major, huge names. But they said it was alarmingly a lot of offensive linemen, a lot of defensive linemen, a lot of bigger guys, because now that the virus, the virus attacks your respiratory system. So even though these guys play professional sports, a lot of them is overweight, which still counts as obesity. Like these guys are 300 pounds and up, or offensive linemen for sure. Defensive linemen is a few over 3, but you're technically obese. Depends on your weight and your height. If your height don't match your weight, or if you're obese. So even though they're sort of in shape and play professional sport. So a lot of those guys bowed out. Like I said, the biggest name is probably Dante Hightower for the Patriots. The Patriots had like 9 guys, I think. Patrick Chung, a couple of other guys. Another famous name, Marquise Goodman for the Philadelphia Eagles. He just had a kid. It's a story on ESPN.com about him. And he said there was no way he was playing this year. No major names, no major quarterbacks, no major players opted out. So, just hopefully the NFL can just make this thing work, man. It's gonna be hard. Like I said, it's too many people. Like I said, they say do a bubble, because the NHL and the NBA did bubbles and they working. No positive tests at all in the NBA or in the NHL, as far as I know about the NHL. Baseball has had their issues, and they don't have a bubble. They still traveling from city to city. So they saying do a bubble. It's too many people, man. So it don't matter. Like where you gonna put all these people at? You know what I'm saying? And then the NFL, you just beginning your season. See, the NBA, they only, if you make the playoffs and make a deep run, you're only gonna be gone from home for 2 months, 3 months. Like the NFL is 6 months. 6 months away from your family. A lot of players don't want to do that. They rather just stay home. So it's gonna be tough. We'll see if anything else develops here. It's no preseason. We'd be already in the preseason. We probably had games tonight if it was preseason. We don't. So I just hope the NFL able to get it done. I want to see some football. So it's gonna be tough. Tom Brady. They're talking about Tom Brady. He looks good. This and that. He's been practicing with his teammates. Like I said, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going to be an interesting team. Tom Brady, 43 years old. He just turned 43, but last couple of days ago, I think. I think his birthday is like August 3rd, August 4th or something like that. I just can't doubt him, man. Like, I've doubted him way before now. Way long time ago. And he's proven me wrong. So until he fails, I'm not going to doubt him. I think Tampa will definitely be in the mix in the NFC. But it's no news. It's no major news. That he looks good in practice. I just hope it comes with the Phillies. They say Gronk looks good. That's the one I'm impressed with. After being off for basically almost 2 years, being retired, they say he looks sharp. He looks faster. He looks more loose. Because when he was playing in the NFL, he had a lot of injuries, a lot of leg injuries. They say his leg, he just was a little slow. So they say he looks good. And then he still got Mike Evans and Curtis Godwin, so it's gonna be an interesting team. And they signed Shady McCoy last week, which I said I think that could be quietly a big pickup for the Buccaneers. So they're gonna be ready for offense. Now we'll see if the defense can match that. They played better near the end of the season, so we'll see if they be able to match it. Tampa, New Orleans, probably the top of the NFC South. We already did the preview. You can check out that on my channel. I previewed the South already. Like I said, Atlanta to me is a sleeper as well. They can pick Todd Gurley. I think he'd be motivated to prove that he's not washed up. So Atlanta is going to be a challenge as well. Carolina, probably the team, like I said, they're going to try to figure themselves out. Teddy Bridgewater, not a bad quarterback. And it's to talk about Christian McCaffrey. But I still think they're behind the 8 ball with the other 3 teams. But we'll see. And Antonio Brown. Well, the news came out last week. He got the 8-game suspension, but a lot of teams, rumblings about the Seahawks, the Ravens, actually possibly bringing him in. I don't know. Where's his best fit? I don't know. Like I said, as a Ravens fan, I don't want him on my team. Not that I don't believe in his talent. I just think I like the chemistry of the Ravens, and I don't want him to mess that up. Even though it's little cousin on the team, Hollywood Brown is his little cousin. Lamar Jackson seems to like him and vouch for him. But I don't know. I'm just nervous to put him in. If they do sign, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, and this and this and that. I'll give it a chance, but I don't like it though for the Ravens. But if he can come in there, keep his nose clean, stay out of trouble. Hopefully this 8-game suspension will teach him something. Which I'm surprised it's only 8 games. Honestly, I thought it would be longer. I think I said that last week. I give it a chance, but I don't like it though. Seattle now, I think that could work with Russell Wilson. He's a established guy there. Pete Carroll. I'm not saying the Ravens locker room is not established, but like I said, my reason I said last week as well is the contradiction. Like, if y'all did Ray Rice the way y'all did Ray Rice, how can you even look at this guy for what he's accused of doing? So that's where I stood with that. If they sign him, I'm not gonna judge one way or the other. I'm gonna give it a chance. I just hope he comes there to be all business. And hopefully we in a good place after 8 games. We already sort of established the division and things of that nature. So, but I don't know. They might. I don't know. They probably seriously looking at him because Lamar wants him. But I don't know. But for Seattle, like I said, I think it'll work in Seattle more. They need him actually. Like, even though we need him, like I said, we don't have no receiver like him on the team. So I think that would really put Seattle, to me, I would definitely pick them to win that division. So I think he'll come back after the 8 games. I think he'll fit right in. DJ Metcalf will have his feet wet. I like him. He showed flashes last year. Big, tall receiver. Got some speed as well. To help Russell Wilson out. Still got Doug Baldwin there. He's decent. So it'll be a nice receiver core to help Russ out. So I like the Seattle fit now. Anybody else? I'm trying to think. Of course, no Patriots, no Steelers. That's not happening. Tampa already came out and said they're not going to touch him, even though Brady wants him there. But Bruce Arians knows him. He used to coach him, so I think Bruce Arians already know, like, nah, I can't deal with that. So he came out publicly and said basically no way that they would sign him. So I'm going to put Tampa on that. It's not happening. Maybe New Orleans, that's probably be a good fit with Sean Payton. And established locker with Drew Brees will help them. How about Michael Thomas? That'd be a monster. Like, that'd be possibly the top 2 in the league, Thomas and Antonio Brown. Man, that would be crazy. But there's a lot of teams you could pretty much make an argument for. But I think Seattle does make sense though. But we'll see where he finds out. I think somebody's going to take a chance on him, especially after 8 games with people be hurt, be injuries in the league and all that. So people are going to take a serious look at him when he gets off suspension. So now I don't know if the suspension starts. Now this is something I got to check out. Like, do it start as soon as he signs with a team? Like, say if a team signs him week 3, do those 3 weeks count? Like, do it counts even if he's not signed? First 8 weeks he just can't, he can't play. So I don't know how that works, but if that's the case, then he might start to get some traction soon. But if they can wait till after the suspension over and see where they are in those 2 months, I think he'll get a lot of attention. And now, right now, the teams probably like I said, they're not sure about him, so probably gonna take their time. But that would do it for this week. We covered all 3 major sports. Just want to say thank you once again. Like I said, I was going to do this at night. I decided to just go ahead and do it now, because I know I got a lot of work to do once I finish. I appreciate you guys so much, like I said, for being supportive. Like I said, the NHL still been working with the bubble. They still rolling in Canada. Canada not playing about that virus, man. They putting people in jail if you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So that's why they do it so well. About the channel like Cuphead, in fact, I'm gonna try to put a video in now. I decided I'm just gonna play one level at a time, and basically the game is so difficult, so basically if I beat the level, I post it. If I don't, I just keep trying until I beat it. So there'll be no commentary at all to the end when I finish it, and I give my little 2 cents after, and that's how I'm gonna do that. But just want to thank you guys so much for the support. Hope everybody stays safe. I'm gonna try to mentally get myself prepared, get myself together. I appreciate you guys. Happy birthday again to my niece. Hope she had a good time yesterday. They had a little party for her. My sister had a little party for her. Hopefully you liked the card. And I see you guys Thursday, right? Yep, Thursday. We got one more NFL division to the AFC West, which I can't wait. Get to talk about the champions, Kansas City Chiefs, and the other teams in the division: Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders. So that's our next division. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. And y'all have a good weekend, and see you Thursday. Thank you.